Remember copyright, Daddy. Remember copyright. Oh. All right, everyone, we will get started here in a few seconds. All right, hello, everyone. Welcome. So I have some tips on BDSM. I'm going to have my daddy sign me in on. Daddy, will you grab me a charger, please? I'm going to pull up some tips on BDSM Lifestyle. Okay, so today I'm doing a bunch of videos to get us caught up on the lifestyle. Some advice that I have on the puppy lifestyle, and today I'm going to be talking about. Stand by. I'm going to be talking about the Puppy Bill of Rights. Daddy, will you open this? So stand by for a second. So in the Puppy Bill of Rights, it does state a few things that I would like to bring up. BDSM. Okay, so this information comes from Serious Pup. Your rights that you should be claiming when needed a pup. One, you have the right to need things from others. That doesn't mean that to your need will be automatically fulfilled, but you have to have needs as a pup, and your owner, trainer, and pack can try to fulfill them. That they know what you need. Take some time and think about what you actually need, not simply want from pup play, then speak up and let others know. When this comes to thinking, I will put the link in the bottom in a second. So basically, I feel is that. Hold on a second. I have a friend asking for the channel. Okie dokie. So you have the right to need things from others. What I mean by that is basically the pack leader does not need to actually fulfill your needs as a puppy or the alpha or the handler. Sometimes people tend to think that it's always a right for that alpha to actually fulfill that. Next thing is, you have the right to put yourself first sometimes. Now, I did not realize that until I actually read this. So, you have the right to put yourself sometimes, although you most likely to be owned as a pup and in training. You cannot and should never put aside anything else in your life. You are a whole person and you must consider your future beyond simply fun of being a pup. Now, there has been times when you as a person, put other priorities first. A healthy, fulfilled life will mean that you will at times have family and friends and work commitments. That does not come automatic at a second time. You have the right to express your emotions. This is rule number 3. Most people in the community That means that sometimes you have to put yourself first. Rule number 3. Hold on a second. Okay. Rule number 3. You have the right to feel and express your emotions. You should express not only to repress yourself, pup, but obviously you can share how you feel, but your owner and trainer may want to modify the abundance. It's their job to watch your pup behavior and to help yourself responsibly, whether you are as a pup without suppressing your expression, feeling. Just keep in mind that feelings and emotions can sometimes be anxious and unhealthy in their expression. You and everyone else should feel to do safe, express themselves in public so that meanings are being considered. Rule number 4. You have the right to be the final judge of your beliefs and accept them as legitimate. Deeper aspects of a puphood can involve what it is to be human, behave as one. You can learn and understand different points of view that will come for your mind, but you never have to forego your beliefs or have them mocked. Other people will pass judgment on you. As a pup, as a person, accept the facts and don't freak over it. Just because someone has made judgment doesn't mean that you have to agree with it or fight it, even if your owner and trainer before you gets caught up in a paradox. Here's a very important it, it's very important to remember that you should do your best and listen to others and consider what they say. You can hear acknowledge another's opinion. You are responsible solely for you, for your own judgment. If you think negatively at times or have false ideas on somehow works in the world, it is up to you to change that. Beginning exposed to different points of view, public gives you the opportunity to examine and think about what beliefs you have and what works best for you. So to be open and listen to others, especially your owner and trainer. 5. You have the right to your opinions and convictions. These beliefs are these are different beliefs. You may believe that people are equal, but actually have the opinion that stupid people are annoying. So you stick to your conviction that stupid people are best avoided. Be a good pup and and listen to consider others' options. And mentioned and your rights number 4. You only have to consider your opinions as you are entitled to present yours and have others considered as well. You don't have to convince anyone to share your opinions or views or what you think. It doesn't mean that you are correct and right in what you think, but it's still yours to have. The same goes for others, Pup. You have to let them have their opinions, even if they can't explain them to you properly. You the same goes for others, Pup. You have to let them hear their opinion, even if they can't explain them properly, and you have to remain unconceived. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, everyone in the pack has to get along. Number 6. Number 6. You have the right to experience, even if it's different from other pups. This is especially relevant to you, meaningless. In the pup community, never accept another person's dem- diminishing your experience, pup, as it is as valid as anyone else's. You have the right to protest any treatment or criticism that feels bad to you. Speak up, pup. It is what you are experiencing is painful, distressing. there are definitely pups and masters who seek hardcore BDSM play, and the idea of protesting treatment is some intuitive. It is not, although pain and pleasure are part of BDSM. You don't have to be in distress and fear and pain that you are enjoying or so on. The college and training is a serious pup explains to you that the idea of that will happen, but not as so much information that is boring and uneventful. Feeling confident into a scene that can make all difference to your enjoyment. So speak up if you are afraid and nervous, pup. Okay. Number 8, you have the right to negotiate change. Like I'm under a slave contract. I can request to my master for change and then negotiate that. By speaking up, what about what you want? Your master and others in the pack can begin a deluge what with you about getting what you need and want. Simply speaking up is not enough, pup. You can go further by working with your master and other pups as sensible and calm discussion to change how you for things that you are for. 9. You have the right to help and ask for emotional support. I go to my daddy and I go to my master about emotional support, such as Facebook. People come after me, I hand it over to my daddy. You have the right to ask for help and emotional support. That doesn't mean that you always get it or receive it in the manner that you're asking for. What is vitally important here is that you ask for help and assistance. Your owner and trainer is there to enrich your life, not diminish it. Okay. Rule number 9. I have a lot of feelings for that because some masters and some puppies go to other puppies and some other masters. I don't go to my other masters and I don't go to other puppies unless I trust them. I go to my master most of the time because I'm engaged, soon to be married, July 6th, everyone. Um, so I go to my alpha slash master slash daddy. When Pluto's out, I go to Pluto for my distress. Okay, this is one thing in the community that is very misunderstood. 8 years ago or 9 years ago, it used to be respected. But now I believe in the furry fandom, and my alpha can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know in the puppy world, you have the right to say no. People take no as in yes. No means no. You have the right to say no. And saying no doesn't mean that you're bad or selfish. If you don't want something, say no to it, pup. Just like no. When you're a furry, you say no. And if that person does not respect it, you go to security or you go to somebody. Number 11, you have the right to justify yourself to others. There will be times that your owner and trainer will ask you to explain your thinking or reasoning. Of course, that you will be asked for feedback on lessons at a very least. You already know you have to have an opinion, and it's perfectly possible calmly, rationally explain your experience, something in pup play. You can tell your other reasonings for some behavior you have pup when which can be heard and acknowledged. Number 12, you have the right to take responsibility for somebody else's problems. Each member of the pack should be sorting out his own problems out. The pack works together to give support and care, but each pup has to ensure he doesn't burden unreasonable anyone else. I believe that anyone that you have the right to not take responsibility for somebody else's problem. If somebody brings you into their problems, then you are part of their problem because they're bringing you into it. They want you to slander somebody else for them. I don't know how my daddy feels about this, but I feel different. If you are in somebody else's problem and they're bringing you into your problem, guess what, people? Guess what, puppies and furries? You bring people into your own problems, they are now part of your problem. So once you bring somebody else into your own problem, that's that does not come irrelevant. You have the right to keep that person out of your problems with people. My feeling of this is totally different. You should not be bringing somebody your problems. So if you have it, I'm going to bring up no names. I'm going to bring up a situation, well, a fake situation. So say that you have John Doe that is a puppy, and you have Jacob Doe. Okay, Jacob Doe comes to John Doe and says, "Hey, I have a problem." John Doe says, what's the problem?" And you explain, Jacob Doe explains it, and he says, "What the hell?" Then he gets involved. That's totally different. Would you agree, Daddy?
No, I agree with you, boy.
Okay. Number 13. Jesus, how many rules are there?
Quite a few, boy.
Whew. I didn't realize I had to read all of this. Whoops. Number 12. You have the right to not take response. Okay, never mind. Number 13. You have the right to choose not to respond to a situation. This is my highest feeling, and I'm going to read what it means, and then I'm going to elaborate on it. You have the right to not to choose to respond to a situation. A sense of a cure about and around in pup play. You can and should choose which you wish to irrationally engage and or not, as explained here. Each scene and every action in a pup play is yours to get something out of it. If you aren't getting something out of it, then in a moment you can always step back and relax. Okay, so for instance, slandering, cyberbullying. You don't have to always get involved in it. You don't. It's kind of A and B, C your way out. You have to understand that sometimes you don't have to get involved in this. You don't have to speak up your mind. You don't have to take up for a friend. But when it comes to cyberbullying, that is a crime. Slandering is a crime. You don't have to get yourself in those situations because it's hard to get out of it. Number 14, you have a right to occasionally disappoint or inconvenience others. No one is perfect. No one is perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. No one is perfect, and make mistakes happen. Everyone's in the pack should practice tolerance and understanding. For some BDSM masters, failure and mistakes are punishable offenses and often viewed as failures by a pup. At serious pup recognizes that the pup learns from mistakes and punishment and best kept for BDSM play hardcore scenes of masters and slaves. I am a slave to my master. Sometimes he lets me off on a good note. Sometimes I get off on a bad note. Okay? Number 15, you have the right to resolve your own problems. I have been trying to resolve my problems in the community for years and years and years. My alpha, my master, my mistress, which is now Pluto, he resolves his own problems, I would think, right?
Yes.
I resolve my own problems. I try to. So much in the community, I just give up. You have the others people, especially for your owner and trainers, are not responsible for solving your own problems. So don't always turn to your master because sometimes my master says, not my problem, you deal with it. Most of the time, if not all, correct me if I'm wrong, Daddy, he always helps me solve it. There will be always things that your owner and trainer can and will help you with. But whenever finding a solution is important for you it's better for you to start solving problems rather than waiting for your owner and trainer to do it for you. You're an adult, and it means not to expect others to fix up your messes. The community expects your alpha or master or beta or delta or omega sometimes can lead to problems. I think some pups, if not all, need to understand that you need to solve your problems on your own. You're right to change your mind. Just because you have said something, that doesn't mean you have to do it. You always have the right to change your mind. Your owners and trainer can be irritated if you do it a lot, but you still have the right to change your mind even after you choose to do something. Number 17, you have the right to not to answer the question. Your owner and trainer can ask you anything, but don't necessarily have to answer or justify yourself. Even if you say yes or no, questions should not be threatening. When you feel a question is hurting you, it is not feedback you are being asked to give. My master, if he was to ask me a question, I don't necessarily have to respond, but I'd get a whipping for that, for sure. But anyways, that is Serious Pup Bill of Rights. I will be sharing it in the link in the video in a second. Hold on, and then I'm going to be ending this live feed because I have some chores to do. Alright, the link is going to be dropped down here. Anyways, everyone, have a great day. Bye.